Okay, week 2. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that you've had a great week and I hope that you've managed to do the task. If you haven't, be kind to yourself and just know that you can catch up. So this week we're starting the Twin Me methodology, and it's T, and T is for your thoughts. So the thoughts that you have over and over become your beliefs. So thoughts and beliefs I might use interchangeably. What are your beliefs about aging? I said last week that what if you believe, like I have taken this belief, that the normal aging is to be, like a bodybuilder with an amazing body and doing amazing things like Ernestine Shepherd in your 80s, or to still be vibrant and expressing yourself at 100 like Iris Apfel, or pole dancing in your 60s like Greta Pontre. That's what I see as normal. What if that is normal? That is my belief. I believe that. And that belief is really important to me and to healthy aging. And our beliefs, our thoughts become our beliefs, they become our words, they become the things that we say. Our thoughts become our feelings become our actions. So our thoughts are really important, because what we think, for example, if what we think becomes what we feel, becomes how we act, that creates our outcome. So we can change our outcome by changing our thoughts. Change your thoughts, change your life. You might have heard that. If you have ever been a fan of Bob Proctor or any of those gurus, then you will talk that you can think yourself into success. Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Dale Carnegie, a lot of these people in the self-help books, what's the guy called? I can't remember his name, but I can always put it up. So there are a whole lot of people, and if you get your thoughts right, you can create success. But the thing about it is we have thoughts that are here, but we have some thoughts that have become beliefs that are down underneath. They're in our subconscious. We could say, this is why affirmations don't necessarily work for people. They can say, oh, I'm going to say I'm successful, but why aren't I successful? Well, the reality is that probably their belief is that they're not successful. So although they're saying it at this level, at a deeper level, the belief is that they're not. And that belief that they've got is because of thoughts that they've had over and over and over, or things that they've been told over and over and over, sometimes in childhood. Some of these beliefs that are in our subconscious have come from childhood. If someone has given you very negative, if it has spoken to you very negatively over and over and over when you're a child, it's very hard for you to feel good about yourself. Even if you look in the mirror and go, I feel good about myself, there's a mismatch between your conscious and your subconscious. And that's why habits are so important. Creating habits are so important, because that's how we change the subconscious. That habits, what we do and we create habits, is how we teach our subconscious to act differently. Our conscious, we can read a book, we can watch a television, we can change our conscious at that level, but to change our subconscious, we have to go deeper. And so first of all, we have to understand, what are those thoughts and beliefs? What are they? And you'll notice them, and this is what this week's task is about. It's about noticing and being mindful of what are the thoughts that come to you when you're not consciously trying to go, what do I think about this? They just come. So when you almost have a notebook or your journal to write them down when they come, what are the beliefs that you suddenly find yourself saying? What are the things that you say? What are the things that you're doing? Personally, I never say things like I'm having a senior moment, but I hear it all the time. People forget things like, oh, I'm having a senior moment. Okay, what is that saying? That is saying, I believe that as you get older, you get forgetful. I believe that that's something that happens. It's a deep-seated belief. And you'll reprogram it every time you say, I'm having a senior moment. Interesting. 5-year-olds forget things. I've forgotten things when I was in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s. Is it really about age? Or am I making it a negative thing about age by saying I'm having a senior moment? Oh, I I can't do that. I'm too old for that. Really? Really? Did Ernestine Shepherd say that when she went on the stage in her 80s to compete in a bodybuilding competition, which coincidentally she won? If you find yourself saying these things, I want you to write them down. I want you to write them down, because we just want to get raw and real with where we are. We can't affect any change in our lives if we actually are not truthful and honest about where we are right now. And wherever you are is fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Don't judge. It's fine. Where you see where you are, you can see what you want to change. You can see what things aren't working for you anymore and discard them. But if you're not raw and real with it, you can't. So I want you to get really raw and real. Write these things down. Write down. If you sort of say, oh, no, but she's just old. That's why she did that. Oh, hello. There's a belief. If someone sort of, did something crazy or was a bit weird, it's like, you just write it off for health. Oh, I can't do that. Or you get up and you go, oh, that's just my old knees creaking. Don't call your knees old. It's like, oh, my knees creaked. Maybe I need to, get a bit more flexibility. Or, wow, that was I got tired climbing that hill. Maybe I need to do a bit more exercise. You can reframe it, but I just want you to see, are you going, oh, that's my old body? I want you to get really, 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 really raw and real and write them down. What are the actions to be old? I found myself doing it. It's not like you get perfect at this. We've just got new e-bikes. My husband and I have got new e-bikes, and they're mountain bikes. But, we actually bought them for being just out on, trails when we were out in our camper van. But we ended up one day, go for a ride, and we ride, and I decided I didn't want to go up this hill. So I said, let's go over here. I think they've got this mountain biking park, and I hadn't really factored in what mountain biking was. Mountain biking is like up and down and round obstacles and things, which was never in my it was never in my vision to be doing. And we sort of ended up, sadly, on an intermediate one. We did the easy one. It was an intermediate course, but it sort of said easy. I thought, oh, this will be fine because it's easy. But actually, I realized after it was the easier version of, there were intermediate, and there were several levels in the intermediate, and this was the easiest one. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And I ended up falling in a little stream. And I fell in the bike, fell on me, like a little bruise. And I'm like, I don't really like this. But we're what can you do? You've got to keep going because you're in the middle of nowhere. And my husband was saying, he said, maybe you're just not strong enough yet for the bike. You've got to maneuver the bike. You've got to manhandle that bike around the corner. It's like, you've got to manhandle that bike around the corner. And you just didn't really do that. And maybe you're just not quite strong enough. And it's like, and I went, I'm 63, and I said, I hate that. I hate that I said that. I hate that I called out my age as an excuse, because actually he's completely right. One, I was like, I'm not used to, it was sort of early days of having the e-bike or the mountain bike, and I wasn't really that comfortable on it, and I feel, even just a few more rides, I feel more comfortable. And also, what I'd done is we'd ended up on a track that I'd sort of chosen because I didn't want to go. The other one that I knew I could do was just a hard slog, and I thought, actually, let's just try this other one. It was my fault that we were on this track, but it was too hard for us. So the thing is, I haven't got the skills yet to do that mountain bike trek, that mountain bike course. I haven't got the skills yet. I may not have the strength yet, actually. That my husband might be right about that, because the bike is quite heavy, and I'm like, yeah. But I hate that I called out age. I had to take a note of it. It's like, no, that's not the issue. I hate to. And when I have those thoughts, I'm like, delete. I literally say that in my head. Sometimes I say it out loud, but not if other people are there, because I'll be like, what's she doing? Go delete. No, I don't. That's not a thought I want going into my body. Our cells are living, like we are living, because our cells are living and they're listening. So every thought, every belief, it's in every cell of your body. And we want healthy cells, because healthy cells means a healthy you for longer. Healthy cells allow you to age young. You want healthy cells. You've got to really start with your thoughts, because habitual thoughts are your beliefs. And as I said, there are subconscious beliefs that you may not even know that you have. You may not even know that you have. And that's why this week is about trying to find them. Just being, I said that. Okay, write it down. And then when you write it down, this is going to be the exercise for this week. You write it down, maybe write it down on the left side of the page. On the right side, reframe it. So if you've sort of said, I can't do that, and it might have been, I can't do that, and on the other side, how do you reframe that? Well, I can't do that yet. See, it's not a, you don't have to go, you don't have to make it hard. And you just have to add a word, yet. I can't yet. And some things, it might be, I can't this, you might have said, if it's like, I choose not to. For example, I could say, I can't climb Mount Everest now. Well, I could reframe that. If I actually wanted to climb Mount Everest, or I thought it was something else, I'd say I can't climb it yet. I can't climb yet. But actually, for me, it would be like, I choose not to. I don't want to. It's a choice I've made. I choose not to. So rather than saying, I can't do that, I say, actually, I choose not to. So you can see it's not a hard system, but you have to recognize what the things are before you can reframe them. My old body. My beautiful body that has allowed me to get to this age. Not everybody has the privilege of reaching an age. So I'm 63, as I said, nearly 64. Well, I'm 64 when this is going out, actually, because I'm pre-recording this. So I am 64. I'm 64. So many people don't get to live to that age, and they certainly don't get to live to that age and still be active and healthy and disease-free. So actually, I'm not going to say my old body. I'm going to say, wow, pretty happy with how things are. And we'll talk about that in the system that I've got for thoughts. But I just wanted to really come at it like that. I'm just going to see how we're doing. So I like to have acronyms to help me remember, and my thoughts one is MEET AIDA. So AIDA is going to be your, AIDA is how you're going to remember how to keep your thoughts right. So when I say thoughts right, your thoughts youthful and allowing you to age youthfully. So the first A is you're going to add in positive thoughts. So first of all, you've got to recognize what the ones that are disempowering, and then you're going to add in new ones. And it may be that when you're developing your playbook of vitality codes, if you've really got beliefs that are really, hardwired in and are disempowering, like old people, can't live alone. Old people can't be independent, for example. That might be some belief that you've got. It keeps coming up. Then you may want to add in an affirmation that is, I am 96 years old and I am living independently and healthy, fit and active. Okay? Now, you can say that, but it'd be like, that's not actually true. But imagine if you said that every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day. You said it for 100 days. Guess what? Thoughts that you say, that you have over and over and over, become beliefs. So that's how you reprogram. And it may be that one of your vitality codes is actually an affirmation. That might be an affirmation that you make. So the thoughts process is adding in positive thoughts. So I want you to choose 2 or 3 thoughts, beliefs that you want to create, and you write them down. And even if they're not real right now, you can make them real. We can make our thoughts. So the first one is to add in positive thoughts and make them beliefs. D is decline or dance with, is something else I've heard it, but decline automatic negative thoughts. So automatic negative thoughts, it's like it's the monkey on your shoulder that goes, you can't do that. Oh, no, you could go for a run today, but it's raining. Oh, it's a bit cold today. Why don't you just put it off till tomorrow? Whatever. those little thoughts that come, they're automatic, and they will come and they will come. Whenever we start to do something new, the body likes everything on automatic. And when you start to do something new, it's like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. And you'll get these little thoughts. They're never going to go away. Your self-doubt is never going to go away. You can always go, oh, can I do this? Even the people, people who are wildly successful will still have those coming, but they've learned how to decline them or dance with them. It's like, oh, there you go. Yep, see you. Thanks very much. Thanks for sharing. You can get back in the back seat now. I'm driving or whatever. You can use all sorts of analogies, but know that they're there. So it's part of having new thoughts and beliefs that the old ones will come. That's completely normal. And when they come, at least you can see what they are. And like, I see you. I see you. Yeah, I need to do a bit of work with you. Yeah, I need to do a bit of work with you. I see you. I don't mean to do a work. But actually, now that you see what it is, you can change it. And the final A is appreciation. Gratitude has got so many positive benefits that it's so many positive benefits in so many ways. But really, I've got it in here because I want to just talk to you about how many times do you say thank you to your body? How many times do you tell your body, you say things about your body that are really quite mean, actually? They're a bit mean. Like, you'd never say those things to your best friend, but you say them to yourself. You say them to your body, oh, look at that, How many times do you do that? How many times do you say thank you? Thank you, wrinkles here. Thank you, crow's feet. It shows me that I've had a lot of laughter in my life, which means I've had a lot of joy and fun, and I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, legs. You're quite sturdy, but you've allowed me a lot of activity. Thank you. So I just want you to also be really aware, so in part of your thoughts, as well as writing down raw and real, add in gratitude. So how can you reframe or say thank you? So it might be you're reframing something like, I can't yet. It might be you go, oh, my old blah, blah, blah. And then say, actually, thank you. I really thank my body for getting me to where I am. And I thank you because I know that if I do a little bit of extra and really appreciate you a little bit more, I will get a better result. And I thank you. Imagine like you're the foreman of a factory and you've got all the factory workers and they're all doing their thing. And you just come and you always berate them. How do they work? Are they working at their most efficient? Are they working at their optimal performance? I don't think so. Now imagine that you just say, you're the foreman, and you say, oh, I really appreciate what everyone is doing. I really, really appreciate it. I'd really love it if we could just up the pace a little bit here and get a bit more efficiency, but I really, really appreciate everything that you've done up until now. Okay, 2 factories. Which one's going to get the better results? Which one is going to have the higher performance? Is going to have the higher output and efficiency and optimal performance? It's the one where there's been some appreciation. Ourselves, they're our little factory workers. They're doing all the work. Say thank you. Thank you to ourselves. Thank you to our tissues. Thank you to our organs. Thank you to our systems. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I actually have made a gratitude meditation. It's just a very short 5-minute one. It's something I wrote. And then I thought, I actually got a friend of mine who has an online business creating beautiful meditations, read it, because she's got a lovely meditative type of voice, if you like. So you can, it's like a guided meditation, and I will put the link so you can download that and just try and listen to that gratitude meditation to your body, and do that. That can be one of the exercises for this week. So that is Ada, meet Ada. So you've met Ada. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of the science. So I want you to know that this isn't just coming out of my head. This is based on good science. So I'm just going to read some studies. I'm going to just have it out here. So there's a study on longevity increased by positive self-perceptions. So there was a study in Oslo. It was a longitudinal study of aging and retirement, and it had 600 participants aged over 50. So it's a big study. And they looked at their attitudes towards aging. So these are their thoughts and their beliefs. And they had a questionnaire scored 0 to 5, 5 being most positive. And then they also looked at their functional health, what they could do, with the higher number being the most. And then they wanted to see what happened with those people. So they followed them up over 22 and a half years. So it's a long follow-up. And what they found is that the people who had the more positive perceptions lived longer. They lived a median of 7.6 years longer. So it wasn't just like a couple of days. It was significantly longer. And for each 1 point of positive self-perception, the risk of dying decreased by 13%. And the greatest to least impact on survival, so the greatest impact was self-perceptions, what you thought about yourself, gender, we can't change that, loneliness, you can definitely change that. It might seem it's a harder one. Functional health, what you can do, so obviously being able to do more, and socioeconomic status. So the greatest effect on your longevity was self-perceptions. Some of those other things you would have heard about in studies, but self-perception is something that you can change today. And in the second study, they looked at the will to live. And they found, and so whether they thought the benefits of living longer outweighed the hardships. And they found that the will to live didn't completely mediate, but it certainly partially mediated the relationship between self-perceptions and aging and survival. So it's very important that your self-perception is key to you having a longer life. And then there have been other studies, but then there are a couple of others that I specifically want to talk about. One is the housemaid study. And this was Ellen Langer, who she's done 2 studies. I'm going to talk about this in the next one. So this study was published in 2007. And what they did is they got, that's called the housemaid studies. There were housemaids in New York City in the hotels. So you can see how they're doing, making beds, going up and downstairs, cleaning rooms, vacuuming, all this sort of thing. They had 84 participants in 7 different hotels. And what they did is they went into the different hotels, and so they had the placebo. One was a group they didn't really do anything to, just gave them some just general health information. But the other group, so general information on health, the other group, they gave the same information, but then because at the time they were, they had all these recommendations. If you do X amount of you got to do X amount of exercise per week is healthy, and whatever it was, I guess. And what they did with the group that was the subject study group is that they went through and told them that they broke down all the activities they did and said how it equated to healthy work. So they go, this amount of vacuuming equates to this amount of exercise per day, this amount of this. So they actually just pointed out that what they were doing already was meeting the requirements of the Surgeon General. So they have a Surgeon General recommendations for active lifestyle. The other team knew what they were, but they weren't told that you were already doing it, okay? So none of them changed their behaviour over the 4 weeks that they did it. Nobody started doing more exercise. Nobody did anything. But now the informed group perceived themselves to be getting significantly more exercise, because now they're like, I've just done my 30-minute workout for the day, or whatever it was. And compared to the other group, they showed a decrease in weight, in blood pressure, in body fat, and the waist to hip ratio, which is a measure of internal fat, really. And they had a reduction in their body mass index. And it was all about their perception of what they were doing. Okay, they perceive themselves to be healthy things. With my vitality codes, I perceive I'm doing healthy things every single day because I tick them off, and we'll get to that later on. But I perceive myself to do it, so I'm winning already, according to this research. And then the other study by Ellen Langer as well was in the 1979. They got two groups of men in their 70s who were to go into rest homes that were set out as if they were in 1959, so set 20 years back. One group were told to act as if they were in 1959. So everything was, I think they only had newspapers that were 1959, the music that was playing in the jukebox was 1959. There were people in the rest home that might be helpers, but they didn't help them any more than they would have helped people 20 years younger. And the other group, I think that they were just told to reminisce about 20 years before. So one is just reminiscing about 20 years ago, and the other one is actively, everything is 20 years ago. Music, stories, acting, everything. And what they found is that the health parameters in both groups improved. I think they were just in the rest home for 2 weeks or something. It wasn't a long time that they got these results. But the health parameters in both groups improved. But the health parameters in the group who were acting as if it was 1959 improved by 63%, whereas the other group only by 44. 44% improvement is good, but it's not as good as 63%. And what they found is that, I think she talked about that when at the end of the study, men who'd gone into the rest home, walking on a cane, came out without the cane. And I think they had some sort of played football in the car park. So, so that this was an amazing study that just shows that how you're thinking about aging. If you're thinking you're younger, that you act younger. And then there's one more study I'm going to talk about, and this is about self-control. So remember that I talked to you about this program is all about feeling empowered to change. And so this study was, they gave plants to rest home patients. So some of the patients, they watered the plants themselves, they had control, and the others, they just had, the staff watered them. And in the patients who watered the plant, at 18 months later, they had better health and less deaths in that group than the other group. So we can change our health in so many ways, and we can change our health even when we're older. So that study is people already in a rest home, and I know probably nobody in this group is in a rest home. But even if you didn't do anything until then, you can change your outcome. But let's just think the amazing things we could do if we changed it now. So that is all about thought. So what's the exercise for today or for this week? I want you to write down the thoughts, the beliefs, the feelings, anything you do that are related to aging, that are disempowering, that are limiting, anything. If you say, I've heard a senior moment, if you say things like that, I want you also to go delete, 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 but write it down, and then on the other side say, forgetfulness is a human condition. I can become more. I can teach myself to remember better, or whatever, because that is possible. So you can see that you write things, and then I want you to also in that love up your body as much as this, or add appreciation if it comes up. So that's the first thing, is write that down and reframe it. So write, reframe. I will put up the gratitude meditation. And I think if you listen to that, that is great. Give yourself a big round of applause, and you might want to listen to it every night. If you do, just put gratitude meditation. So remember, last week we started with the breathing exercise. So I want you to just now add another line to the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or sort of make it like a calendar and add another line which says gratitude meditation. Just tick if you do that. And another exercise, I'm giving you two today, this week, is I want you to, when you wake up in the morning, I want you to express gratitude for something. In fact, for 3 things. So, and it's real, I don't want you to go, I'm grateful for, that just bring things in that you're not really grateful for. Like this morning, I'm away in a holiday house, and there are sandflies and little bugs, and there are rats in the roof sometimes. So this morning I was like, it's my first night here. I'm so grateful that I had a good night's sleep. I'm so grateful that I didn't hear anything that I thought was rats in the roof. And I'm so grateful I didn't get bitten by anything overnight. But 3 things that you're grateful for. And I want you to start doing that every morning, and I want you to tick off when you've done it. Why are you doing that? Let me just give you, because it might help motivate you to do it. What the Elizabeth Blackburn, who is the woman who got the Nobel Prize for discovering telomeres, and she's done a lot of research on telomeres. Remember, they're the little caps, and if we get them longer, we get a healthier life for longer. We age young for longer. So what she found is that she studied women who are under chronic stress, and she found that there's a difference in their telomeres. And the women who woke with joy, now you say wake with joy, so if you wake up joyful, then you have longer telomeres. So how do you wake up joyful? Well, the easiest way to tap into that is, the easiest way to tap into joy is to express gratitude. It'll raise the vibration. So you have got control of that. So every morning, wake and express gratitude for 3 things. It's going to increase the length of your telomeres. So I'll just recap. Exercises for this week. Journaling. What are your thoughts? What are your beliefs? What are your feelings? What are you doing? Reframe. Add in a lot of appreciation. Listen to the gratitude meditation. And express gratitude when you wake. So thank you very much for joining. I will see you next week.